Good evening once again. Day 1243 of the Trump administration. 141 days to go now until the presidential election. We are now hours away from the president's promised executive order on police reform. He is responding to a movement that took off across the country following the killing of George Floyd, and that has gained more momentum now after police shot and killed another African-American man late last week. Rayshard Brooks was killed in Atlanta on Friday night after officers responded to a 911 call, said there was a man asleep in his car who was blocking a Wendy's drive-thru.
You need police, fire, ambulance out here.
The police.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
I have a car. I think he's intoxicated. He's in the middle of my drive-thru. I tried to wake him up, but he's parked dead in the middle of the drive-thru.
Does he appear to have any weapons, ma'am?
Ma'am?
Does he appear to have any weapons from where you can see it?
No, I think he's intoxicated.
That's how it started. Atlanta Police Department video shows initial interactions between the officers and Brooks, who'd been asleep in the car, were mostly calm, mostly civil. Police say Brooks failed a sobriety test. Then the encounter blew up when the officers attempted to place Mr. Brooks in cuffs. Video shows the struggle between Brooks and the officers. Investigators say Brooks then took a taser from one of the officers. Here's where the scene becomes more difficult to watch. Georgia Bureau of Investigation surveillance video appears to show Brooks turn and point the taser at the officers as he ran away. One of the officers draws and fires his weapon. The autopsy showed Brooks was shot twice in the back. The medical examiner ruled his death was a homicide. The officer who shot Brooks was fired immediately. The other officer on the scene has been transferred to administrative duty. Atlanta's police commissioner has resigned. This morning, Brooks' widow asked protesters in Atlanta to remain peaceful.
There's no justice that can ever make me feel happy about what's been done. I can never get my husband back. I can never get my best friend. I can never tell my daughter, oh, he's coming to take you skating or swimming lessons. So it's just going to be a long time before I heal. It's going to be a long time before this family heals.
Heartbreaking scene there. And at the White House this afternoon, the president was asked for his thoughts.
Thought it was a terrible situation. I studied it closely. To me, it was very disturbing.
It had been 21 days, of course, since the killing of George Floyd. His death in custody led to a nationwide call for police reforms. As we mentioned, Trump is expected to sign this executive order on policing tomorrow, wording TBA. The focus of the order said to be on tracking misconduct, officer training, sending social workers on some nonviolent police calls.
The overall goal is we want law and order, and we want it done fairly, justly. We want it done safely, but we want law and order. This is about law and order, but it's about justice also, and it's about safety.
President's also expected at least to ask Congress to pass new laws. The AP is reporting Senate Republicans are preparing a measure that would at least include restrictions on chokeholds. Meanwhile, the nation's public health crisis, brought on by a still churning pandemic, isn't going anywhere. If anything, the outbreak is becoming more intense in some parts of our country. The U.S. now has over 2.1 million confirmed cases. Well over 116,000 people have died. Scientists out at the University of Washington predict more than 200,000 deaths by early October. Virus still on the rise, still on the move. 22 states are showing an up rate, including Oklahoma, where the president relaunching his campaign rallies on Saturday. The event's taking place at the 19,000-seat Bank of Oklahoma Arena in Tulsa, a city in the midst of a full-on spike in cases. Trump says they'll also fill a convention hall next door. Tulsa's public health director says he'd prefer the president put off the rally because of the surge in confirmed cases underway right now in that city. But Trump made it clear today he's going forward.
Oklahoma's done very well. I just spoke to the governor. He's very excited about it. Oklahoma's at a very low number. They've done really fantastic work. And we expect to have, it's like a record-setting crowd. We've never had an empty seat, and we certainly won't in Oklahoma.
As he has done in the past, Trump tried to link the increases in cases that we know about to wider testing.
I can tell you on COVID or coronavirus or whatever you want to call it, plenty of names, tremendous progress is being made. A lot of cases that other countries who don't even test don't have. If you don't test, you don't have any cases. If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any.
Bloomberg News reporting it the following way. Texas and Florida, two of the most populous U.S. states, reported record numbers of new COVID-19 infections on Sunday. The recent surge in illnesses in those states and others has led to concern among public health officials that reopening the economy has come at the cost of spreading the new coronavirus. But today, in what some instantly labeled blatant gaslighting, the president offered an almost completely opposite take, talking about how well things are going, specifically in the states that...
I spoke with the governor of Texas, where they've done a fantastic job, and he said they have had some outbreaks in prisons, and that's where their numbers went out, and the numbers change a little bit because of the prison population, but he's got it in great shape. Texas, Florida's doing very well. Georgia's doing very well. We have tremendous numbers. We have hot spots, as I said, you might, and we take care of the hot spots.